Test tweet came in perfectly. Awesome. Yay, look. It's good. Thoughts on Haskins picking up for the future? That's a good question there, Justin. I thought that was the way I've stated it and quoted it on Steeler Nation. I called it a no risk, high reward, not a or no risk, low risk, high reward is what everybody says. I say it's a no risk, high reward. We got him for nothing, zero. He is on vet minimum contract, right around $1 million for a backup quarterback that was drafted 2 years ago, halfway through the first round. To get him for $1 million is probably the best value you could ever have for a backup quarterback. I would love to see him develop into something. I was excited also when the Steelers ended up picking up Paxton Lynch, who they were probably going to try to draft him that year in the first round. Fortunately, they didn't. Fortunately, Denver picked him up before. We got Paxton later. He just didn't work out for us. He didn't work out for any team, unfortunately. Though he had the size and the metrics to be a quarterback. I think Haskins has a much higher floor than Paxton Lynch, which is awesome. And that makes me excited to see what he can do in preseason. Hopefully, Steeler fans are going to be able to somehow interact and see a little bit more in preseason, because last year it was just skimming, reporting files just to figure out anything that was happening in training camp or in the practices, because very rarely were any reporters even allowed in. But Brooke Pryor, I know she gets in every once in a while, as well as Teresa Varley, Missy Matthews. Those are some good people to follow on Twitter to get some info on the preseason and that. And that's usually who I follow to get my info. So high hopes for Haskins. But if he doesn't work out, it doesn't cost the Steelers a dime. I think the Redskins are on the hook for the rookie contract. I think it's around $15 million, I think was the dead cap for him for this year. And another $5 million for the following year. So because they were tied up as either $4 or $5 million contract. Actually, let me look it up for you quickly. I've got all my bookmarks here. So I've got this special, I usually use the Spotrac page, and we'll look at Washington. Well, now it's Pittsburgh, but his contract's kind of off the thing then. Dwane Haskins, probably. I'll see if they have reference for his original contract, because I'm really interested to see what the dead cap amounts are for Washington without having to click on their page. Looks like they take a dead cap hit of $7.5 million this year and $4.2 million next year. So that's a lot of money to be, giving up in a quarterback 2 years into his contract was just insane, absolutely insane. And it seemed like it was more Twitter related, not, off field related, which Washington has tons of problems off field. Team voted him team captain. They loved him internally within the locker room. I mean, Alex Smith coming back is an excellent story as well. So I can see why he just didn't get along with Rivera at the back end. And what I was thinking was it had a lot to do with the rules involving COVID-19. And when the NFL started coming down on teams and docking draft picks, they were probably worried that they were going to start docking draft picks from the Redskins for him not taking it seriously, going out in other environments, filming himself, strip clubs, whatever, during COVID. Wasn't smart, wasn't a good look for Washington. And Washington was already having problems with their look involving women, their cheerleaders, how they're mistreating them. They couldn't allow that to continue, I suppose, in-house. So any visual that would kind of be linked to that kind of treatment of women was not on their ideal. So thanks a lot for the question. I'm glad I got to at least answer one question during the test session here. So thanks, Justin. Thanks, Gail, over there, too, on YouTube for helping to make this testing situation work out. And it looks like it's running fairly smoothly now. I'm probably going to be upgrading now to the professional so that we can stream directly to the Facebook page for SteelerNation.com, and we'll be all able to interact all at the same time now with the thanks of technology, the thanks of Restream, and me figuring out how to do it. So cheers, Steeler Nation. Be talking to you soon. And go Steelers. I just have to figure out how to stop the thing. There it is.